What if I told you that the light in your room right now, the light you think is harmless, is sending a signal to your brain that should only arrive at noon? And that your brain, receiving that signal at midnight, is making a decision that will affect your heart, your immune system, your weight, your mood, and your memory, while you sit there completely unaware of it? This is not theory. This is biology. And it has been happening to you, every single night, for years. For 300,000 years, the human body ran on one clock. The sun. It rose. Your body woke. It set. Your body prepared for sleep. That clock never failed. It never needed resetting. It was built into every cell of your body with a precision that took millions of years to perfect. And then, in less than 100 years, we replaced the sun with a glowing screen. And the clock broke. What happened next is one of the most important and most ignored health stories of our time. Stay. Because by the end of this, you will understand something about your own body that most doctors never talk about. You know this feeling. You are exhausted at 10 p.m. Your body is heavy. Your eyes are closing. And then something pulls you to your phone. Just for a minute. And suddenly it is 1 a.m. and the tiredness is gone. Replaced by a strange, restless alertness that feels wrong but will not stop. You lie in the dark and your mind runs. You stare at the ceiling. You check the time. Again. And again. And in the morning you wake feeling like you never truly slept at all. You call it insomnia. You call it anxiety. You call it your mind being too busy. But what is actually happening, inside your cells, inside your hormones, inside the ancient clock your body was built on, is something far more specific. And far more fixable. Your body isn't broken. It's just remembering. It is remembering a world where darkness meant rest. Where the absence of light was the signal every cell in your body was waiting for. And it does not know what to do with a world that never goes dark. But to understand why that matters so deeply, you need to understand what that clock actually is. Because what scientists discovered about it changed everything. And it should have made headlines everywhere. It did not. And that silence is part of the problem. In 2017, 3 American scientists won the Nobel Prize in Physiology or Medicine. Jeffrey Hall, Michael Rosbash, and Michael Young. Their discovery, the molecular mechanism controlling the body's circadian rhythm, was called one of the most important biological findings of the century. And most people have never heard of it. What they found is this. Every single cell in the human body contains its own clock. Not one central clock. Trillions of individual clocks. All synchronized, for hundreds of thousands of years, by a single signal. Light. Specifically, the light of the sun. When morning light enters your eyes, it travels along a dedicated neural pathway directly to a tiny region in the brain called the suprachiasmatic nucleus. And from there, like a conductor raising a baton, it synchronizes every clock in every cell in your entire body. Hormones activate. Digestion begins. Immune function shifts. Body temperature rises. Every system in your body knows what time it is, because the sun told it. Scientists call this the solar synchrony. The oldest biological rhythm on Earth. 3.5 billion years old. Running without interruption, until we turned on the lights. For 300,000 years of human existence, this system never encountered a single problem. The sun rose. The body woke. The sun set. Darkness came. And in that darkness, in complete, total, uninterrupted darkness, the brain released melatonin. The hormone of night. The signal that told every cell, it is time to repair. To restore. To do the work that can only happen in the dark. And that work, the work of cellular repair, memory consolidation, immune rebuilding, and hormonal reset, is not optional. It is not a luxury. It is the maintenance cycle your body absolutely requires to function. And we are skipping it. Every single night. Without knowing what we are losing. But what we are losing, that is where the story becomes deeply alarming. Before 1879, before Thomas Edison, every human being who ever lived experienced true darkness every single night. Not dim light. Not blue screen glow. Complete darkness. Broken only by fire, and firelight, crucially, does not contain the blue wavelengths that disrupt the circadian clock. For hundreds of thousands of years, the human body fell into darkness safely. Naturally. Every night without exception. And then electric light arrived. And within a generation, darkness became optional. Within 2 generations, darkness became rare. And within 3, screens arrived. Screens that emit blue light. The exact wavelength that the suprachiasmatic nucleus reads as midday sun. Your phone at midnight is telling your brain it is noon. Your body believes it. And it responds accordingly. It suppresses melatonin. It raises cortisol. It holds body temperature up. It keeps every system in a state of daytime readiness. While you are lying in bed, wondering why you cannot sleep. Researcher Charles Cheesler at Harvard Medical School has spent decades studying what artificial light does to the human circadian system. What he found is not subtle. Even a single hour of blue light exposure before bed delays melatonin release by up to 3 hours. 3 hours. Every night. Multiplied across months and years, the damage accumulates in ways that go far beyond tiredness. But what that damage actually looks like, inside the body, is something most people are completely unprepared to hear. When the circadian clock is disrupted, when the solar synchrony that governed every human body for 300,000 years is broken night after night, the effects move through every system in the body like a slow earthquake. The immune system loses its rhythm. It cannot mount the repair processes it was designed to run during sleep. Inflammatory markers rise. The body stays in a low-level state of biological stress that never fully resolves. Research from the National Institutes of Health has linked chronic circadian disruption to increased risk of heart disease, type 2 diabetes, obesity, certain cancers, and early cognitive decline. These are not minor side effects. These are the consequences of running a 300,000-year-old biological system on the wrong schedule, every night, for years on end. And the most disturbing part is this. The damage does not feel like damage. It feels like aging. It feels like stress. It feels like just being a modern person who is always a little tired, a little foggy, a little less sharp than they used to be. You adapt. You normalize it. You drink more coffee. You push through. And all the while, inside your cells, the clock that was supposed to govern everything is running hours behind. Trying to maintain a rhythm that the light around you will not allow. But there is one more layer to this. One more discovery that explains why fixing your sleep alone is not enough. And why the damage starts much earlier in the day than most people realize. Think back. Find a memory of waking up and feeling genuinely rested. Truly, completely, deeply rested. Not just not tired. Actually restored. Like something had been returned to you overnight. For many people, that memory is years old. Maybe more than a decade. And they have accepted its absence as simply the way adult life feels. But that acceptance is not truth. It is adaptation to damage. That feeling of deep restoration, the kind your body is capable of, is what happens when the circadian clock runs correctly. When darkness arrives on time. When melatonin flows without interruption. When every cell in your body gets the signal it has been waiting for since the sun went down. Your body still knows how to do this. It has not forgotten. The mechanism is still there, exactly as it was built. Waiting for the conditions it was designed for. waiting for the darkness that the modern world has almost completely taken away. Many people describe lying awake at night feeling a strange kind of emptiness. Not quite sadness. Not quite anxiety. Just a hollow, restless feeling that something is not right. That feeling is real. It is your ancient body, built for a rhythm of light and dark as reliable as sunrise, trying to find a signal that the modern world keeps interrupting. Your family may have passed down habits of late nights and bright screens without knowing what those habits were doing. And now those habits feel normal. But normal is not the same as right. And what science has found about returning to the right rhythm is simpler than anything the wellness industry will ever try to sell you. This is the core of everything. The biological mismatch. Your body was built, at the cellular level, to be governed by the sun. Every hormone. Every immune cycle. Every repair process. Every moment of genuine rest. All of it was timed, calibrated, and perfected across millions of years of solar rhythm. And in less than a century, we replaced that rhythm with electricity. With screens. With the blue glow of devices that were never tested against the oldest clock in biology before they were placed in the hands of every person on Earth. The result is a population of people running on broken clocks. Tired but wired. Exhausted but unable to rest. Aging faster than they should. Thinking less clearly than they could. Feeling less well than their biology was designed to allow. And almost none of them know why. Because no one told them. Because the story of the circadian clock, and what we have done to it, is one of the most important untold health stories of our time. Until now. Here is what I promised you. The thing that changes everything. The Nobel Prize scientists who discovered the circadian clock also discovered something else. Something that the wellness industry has spent years trying to turn into a product, when it was never a product at all. The circadian clock does not reset with supplements. It does not reset with sleep aids or meditation apps or blackout curtains alone. It resets with light. Specifically, morning light. Direct, outdoor, natural morning light hitting your eyes within the first 30 minutes of waking. Before coffee. Before screens. Before anything else. Andrew Huberman at Stanford University has studied this mechanism in depth. What he found is that this single behavior, 10 minutes of morning sunlight, resets the suprachiasmatic nucleus, anchors the entire circadian rhythm, and begins a cascade of hormonal timing that governs your energy, focus, mood, and sleep quality for the entire day. Your body was built to receive this signal. It has been waiting for it, every single morning, since the moment your ancient ancestors opened their eyes at dawn. The sun has not moved. The clock has not changed. Only the morning routine has. And the simplest, oldest, most powerful thing you can do for your health, costs nothing. It just requires you to step outside. And look up.